He's scored goals in 4 different countries. He's quick, powerful and clinical. So why hasn't Abdallah Sima been trusted to lead the line in the Premier League? So Sima was a breakout at Slavia Prague with 16 goals and 7 assists in 39 games, including 4 goals in the Europa League. Then he moved to Brighton in 2021 for a fee of about £7 million, which is quite a lot for a young striker. And then he had loan moves to Stoke, Angers, Rangers and Brest with mixed success. Some went very well and some went very, very bad. But since his move to the South Coast, he's missed 288 days with injury and missed 69 games. And groin, back and ankle injuries at Stoke, which was his first loan, saw him only play 4 championship games. He did play 5 games for their 21s in the Premier League 2 and scored 4 goals. But that's not really what Brighton would have hoped from that first initial loan move. But what are his strengths as a number 9 and what makes him a legitimate striker option for a Premier League team? Well, his movement in the box is elite. He has very good aerial presence, which we'll see in the stats in a minute. He's finishing with both feet, very good. He's physical, he's got those attributes that you need as a striker in the Premier League. He can hold the ball up, he's quick, as I say, and his pressing is incredible. He has that pace, as I said, and he has that mentality, that adaptability and experience in tough leagues such as the Czech League, the Scottish League, the Championship, although it's minimal, and of course the French League, as well as Europa League and Champions League. So, still only 24, the experience is already there. So, compared to forwards in the top 5 leagues and Champions League and Europa League over the last year, his stats are pretty interesting. So we'll start with his goals, of course, because he's a striker. Goals per 90, 0.52, which puts him in the 74th percentile. Pretty respectable. His non-penalty XG per shot is 0.16, which puts him in the 60th percentile. And his shots on target percentage is 41.5%, which puts him in the 64th percentile. So pretty respectable when he's being compared to the likes of Haaland, Mbappe. Salah will be in that mix as well. So for a player that's playing for a, perhaps lower, not lower end teams, they're sort of lower high end teams, if you get what I mean. Like if you're looking in the Premier League, your Brightons, your Brentfords, your Bournemouths to an extent this season, maybe Aston Villa are somewhat in there as well. He's sort of in one of those sort of teams in the French League, so pretty respectable goal scoring stats. Touches in the box, 4.79 per 90, which puts him in the 57th percentile. Maybe he's not getting the ball in the box as much as you'd hope in the striker, or touching it in the box as much as you hope as a striker. But then again, maybe he's just getting the ball 1-2 touch and finishing it straight away, getting that shot off, which is what you want in the Premier League, getting those shots off, getting the goals. And then touches in the attacking third, 18.81, 88th percentile. So what does this show? Well, he likes to get the ball in and around the box, outside the box, in the attacking third as well, a bit deeper so he can get it and drive with it, which we'll see in a minute with his carries, which surprised me as well. But his pressing is elite as well, as I said. Ball recoveries, 4.43 per 90, which puts him in the top 99th percentile. Tackles, 1.13 per 90, 90th percentile. Tackles 1, 0.72, 90th percentile again. And tackles in the attacking third, 0.52, 99th percentile. This is an elite pressing striker. In the top tier of all the pressing stats, he runs, he works his socks off, and yeah, he'll win that ball back. He has the strength, as I said, he has the pace, he has the intelligence as well to know when and where to press. He's also good in the air. Aerials 1, 3.20 per 90, 82nd percentile, so you can win those headers from crosses and so on. But as I said, the carries are where it gets interesting. 21.24 per 90, 88th percentile. Total carrying distance, 138.92 yards, 92nd percentile. Progressive carries, 2.53, 91st percentile, and carries into the penalty area, 1.39, 92nd percentile. So he gets the ball pretty deep with that carrying yards and the carrying distance, and he'll drive with it. He won't look back. He won't always look for the pass. He'll get that ball, he'll get it towards the goal, get it towards the box, and try and get something created, which is kind of the modern day Premier League striker. Someone that's quick, someone that scores goals, someone that can press, and someone that can carry the ball and bring it forward and always looking to attack, which surprises me why he hasn't been part of Fabian Hürzeler's plans and why he looks to not be part of Fabian Hürzeler's plans this season. But why hasn't he been trusted yet? There must be a very good reason. Well, there was a tactical mismatch under Roberto De Zerbi. He preferred a striker that was a bit more hold the ball up, link up the play, which is not Sima's game. He likes to, as I say, get forward, drive with the ball, get on the ball, score the goals, and get in behind, which didn't fit De Zerbi, which is fair enough. But he does suit Fabian Hürzeler, which is a surprise why he hasn't been used. He did have a poor 24-25 pre-season and looked miles off the pace. But even then, his loans before and his loan this season with Brest looks fantastic, and he hasn't played in any of the pre-season's games. And then, of course, his injury record is a big issue, and it makes it difficult to put all your faith in him on a season to go up front and be your main number 9. If he does get that injury, you could have a problem, especially if you're a club looking to press higher and higher into the Europa League, maybe even Champions League places. And he has been misused out wide. If you look at these heat maps from Brest and Rangers, his two best loans, in my opinion, all of the red is on the left-hand side. Most of his games are on the left-hand side. So his stats are even more impressive when you're looking at his goals when he's playing as a winger. But if you look at his profile, he is a perfect number 9. And even in like Football Manager, he goes on to become a pretty solid striker. And that game is usually somewhat reflective of real life. But yeah, it's just Brighton have so many wingers, so that makes sense why he hasn't been used there for Brighton. But with Evan Ferguson really not being on form and heading to Roma on loan, and Danny Welbeck is aging, has fantastic season last season, Brighton have brought in Charalampos Kostalos and Stefanos Tsimas, who are young options, and they look to be fantastic. But Sima has that experience, and yeah, it's just frustrating that he hasn't been given that chance. But hopefully this season he will be, whether that's in the Premier League or whether it's another top 5 league. But as I said, he could work as a central striker in a Premier League system, a target man in a 4-2-3-1 system, or as a pressing 9 in a high-intensity setup, counter-attacking or against a deep block side or in a deep block side. Like, look at a newly promoted side, for example, a Sunderland or a Leeds or a Burnley. They like to defend deep and counter-attack, especially Sunderland and Burnley. And a player like him up front with that pace to get in behind could be a factor in potentially staying up. Look at, as I say, a Wolves maybe could use him. Forest had as an example with the Chris Wood, so maybe they'll look to bring him in as an extra option. Or even Brighton, as I say, they could trust him, they could use him up front, as they like. Hürzeler likes that modern, old-fashioned forward, as I've done a TikTok on, the one that has a bit of everything, hold up, link up, gets in behind, the pace, the physicality, the intensity. They're the main sort of attributes he's looking for in a striker. He's 6'2", rapid, composed, still only 24. Give him a run of games in his natural striker position and he could easily deliver 10 plus Premier League goals. But let me know which team you think should take a chance on Sima. Should he stay at Brighton and should they take a chance on him? Should he go to a newly promoted side or should he get away from the Premier League? Let me know down below. Comment, like, subscribe. That is it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. You know the outro by now. Do it with me. Adios.